Okay, so I'm going to show you now all about plot styles. So I've talked through layers and how to create layers and how to draw with layers, and so layers correspond to plot styles. So what we're going to do is go up here to Output here, and we're going to see they've got this little menu here. We're going to come up to Page Setup, and you'll see that it's in Current. So what you need to do is come down here and click into Override. And once you get into Override, you get this menu happening here. And this is where you basically create your plot styles through this process. So you'll see that you've got your A3 paper size set up. This is something that you do not change at all. Then you've got your plot style table. You'll see that there's none here. So what you're going to do is click on this little arrow here, and you're going to go down to this very first one here, and you want to click on Yes there. So then you've got this little Edit tool here. I'm going to click on the Edit tool, and this is where you create your plot styles that correspond to your colors from your layers. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is in my table here for layers, I have created a wall existing layer, and it is red. So what I'm going to do is come up here to my plot styles, and I am going to click on color 1, which is red, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write in the description box here, my layer name, which is walls existing. Okay, so then once I've got that information in there, I'm going to come over here to Properties. You don't change this box here. You're going to come down to Grayscale. I'm going to make sure that that is on. Then the things that you do change in plot styles are your line type and your line weight. Now these two things are up to you. They're at your discretion. So you can come here and you can select any line type that you want. But for this instance here, I'm going to select solid. My existing walls are going to be solid. And my line weight here, you should know from drafting days that your heavy lines or heavy weighted lines are your existing walls, and then your lighter weighted lines are things like glazing, for instance. So usually you had like your pens, your weighted pens used to be like a 5 through to a 1.8 or something like that. So in this instance, I'm going to go in between. I'm going to choose a 0.35 for my existing walls. Okay, I'm going to that's all selected. Then I'm going to do exactly the same thing for my next layer, which is walls new, and walls new is say for instance it is color 12. No, let's choose this color here, blue. Okay, it's this color here. And I'm again going to do the same thing here. I'm going to type in walls new from my layers table, and that was the layers name. And then I'm going to go over here and do exactly the same process. The color doesn't change. I'm going to come to grayscale again. I'm going to turn the grayscale on. Line type and line weight, they're the two things that I am going to change. I'm going to look here, make sure that I've got my line type is solid, and the line weight for the existing walls new, I'm going to make them a little lighter. I'm going to make them 0.3. Okay, once I have transferred all my layers information into this table here, I'm then going to click Save As. Okay, click Save As, and then you'll see here that I'm going to change the file name, and I'm going to call this my own name, because what I'm doing here is I'm creating my own plot style. Okay, so I'm going to call it MPJ plot style, and then I'm going to come over here and click Save. And then what I'm going to do is click Save and Close. Okay, so then what you'll do is you'll come up to this page setup override, and you'll click on this little arrow here, and you can see that MPJ plot style has been created, and it's assign this plot style to the table of layouts and go yes, and then OK. So my plot style, MPJ plot style, has been created. I've gone through my layout, my layers, and my layer colors, and I've assigned all of that to a plot style. So each of those has a plot style, and that plot style, with that plot style, it has a line weight and a line style to it. So that is something that has been created, and once that has been created, I do not need to recreate that. It's a one-of thing, better word for thing. So it's, pardon? Yeah, and I can use this over and over again. I can use this plot style over and over again. That's the whole idea of this. You've created it once, and you can keep on keeping on with this plot style. You do not need to recreate this. You can add additional, equally with your layers, you can add layers, and you can add plot styles that correspond to those layers.